Renting in Japan as foreigner is difficult and frustrating. And that is putting it mildly. Landlords will refuse your application based on a variety of assumptions that they have about you. That you can't communicate, can't sort the trash, that you will cook smelly food, or sometimes simply because they are racist. And even if your applications get through, it will probably face an extra scrutiny just because you're a foreigner. But if you know what to expect and are sufficiently prepared, you can make this process a little bit less painful. In this video we will talk about how a regular apartment hunting process works, why it might not work for you, and most importantly, what you can do about it and how you can find an apartment as a foreigner without losing your mind and regardless of your Japanese language ability. So, how would you approach an apartment hunting if you were Japanese? Pretty simple. You'd hop into a site like Sumo or Homes and start looking for your dream home with the help of 1 million different filters. After finding something nice, you will contact a fudo-san, that's a real estate agent. Private listings are very rare in Japan and everything is done through the agent or a management company. Next, you go visit their office and you can actually skip browsing online listings and go directly to their physical store most of the time. Just tell them what you want and they will find something for you. After that, you go view the rentals in person and hopefully pick one. Finally, submit your application and after a brief screening, sign the lease. Now, here's the problem. If you're a foreigner, even assuming that you speak Japanese, at this last step of submitting your application, things usually go wrong. The agent calls the landlord and the conversation goes like this. Yes, I found a great tenant. Stable employment, doesn't watch anime. They are perfect. Well, almost. They are foreigner. Oh, yes, I see. Yes, I understand. Thank you. Unfortunately, the application for this apartment might be a little bit difficult. Rinse and repeat, this is a very common occurrence. Why does the agent even offer you all those properties that you will not be able to rent? Well, you see, a lot of agents, especially ones that do not have experience working with foreigners, do not understand the extent of the problem, and oftentimes they are as surprised and frustrated as you are. So, what can you do about it? First, accept that you will have access to a more limited number of listings compared to a Japanese tenant. This can be helped. Finding a perfect place to live that is also within your budget will be more difficult. If you see a great listing online or in person, do not get too excited or you will be heartbroken. Now, assuming that you do not speak Japanese and there is no one there to help you with language, you have 3 options. First one is foreigner-friendly corporate landlords. These landlords usually own their own buildings and market to both foreigners and Japanese tenants. There are a bunch of these, with Leo Palace being the most famous, or infamous, depending on who you ask. Some others are Sakura House, Union Monthly, Fontana, and Oak House. There's plenty more. There's also a bunch of overpriced options geared toward rich expats, but you probably do not need this video if you are going to rent one of those. Now, let's quickly go over the pros and cons of this type of rental. Pros. Furniture. Some of these companies offer furnished options. This can be good or bad depending on what you want to do with your place. And usually the quality of furniture will not be too good. Communication. They have staff that speaks multiple languages and are used to dealing with foreigners. This is very important because communication is #1 problem people have when trying to rent a place or renting a place. Application process. The application and vetting process is pretty straightforward and not very demanding. As long as you can pay and you have a pulse, you are good. Cons. Price. They're a bit more expensive and often have a lot of random fees. However, you do not need to pay a crazy amount of money upfront just to move in, like it is with regular rentals. Quality of properties. The properties kinda suck most of the time, to be honest. They're small, not soundproof, older buildings, limited internet options. There are exceptions to this, but overall it's pretty meh. But it is still a decent and easy options to get your foot in the door, especially if you're not very picky. Second option, and the one that I recommend, is to use a real estate agent who works with foreigners. There are a lot of those, especially in bigger cities. If you've seen listings on English websites like Gaijinpod or Wagaya Japan, they're probably from those guys. This will cost you money, usually about 1 month's rent, but they know what listings to show you and can help boost your application success rate. They will show you properties for which they know the landlord is okay with foreigners, or properties owned or managed by companies. Usually those companies will not immediately reject you just for having a foreign-sounding name. They might have stricter requirements and screening criteria for foreigners, but at least it's an official process without personal feelings involved. This is a great option if you have a bigger budget and want to rent a decent place. Third option is Urban Renaissance, or UR. This is a government housing program and they have plenty of buildings nationwide. These places are super popular, so the good ones and most importantly the cheap ones disappear fast. But hey, if you're apartment hunting in the off-season, you might just get lucky. They have official physical stores where you can go into and get help finding a place. And bigger stores might even have someone speaking decent English. There are no BS fees, but depending on your situation, you might need to put up anywhere from 1 to 3 months of rent as a deposit. You will actually get most of it back unless you completely trash the apartment. Please don't do that. This is especially good option for families, since the apartments are big and located in family-friendly areas next to parks, rivers and all the good stuff. If you speak Japanese or have access to someone who will do the reading and talking for you, you can go directly to the management companies that rent out their properties. In addition, you can still try the regular apartment hunting process. A lot of foreigners do, and you will find something eventually. It might just take a bit more time and cause you some sanity damage, so be prepared for that. Now, let's talk about application screening. Let's say you found a place that will accept your application. This is great, but as a foreigner, you will have a harder time passing a screening. But it's okay, I gotcha. The following things will help you not only boost the chance of your application, but will also make you a better tenant, which is important, so let's start with that. Shows that you will be a decent tenant. A good number of Japanese landlords assume that as a foreigner, your adulting ability is the same as that of a 5-year-old child. And unfortunately, a lot of the time they will be correct. So, learn some basic Japanese. This is super important and will show that you are serious about being in Japan. Understand the most important things in Japanese culture, like property sorting and disposing of your trash, not putting heavy furniture on tatami mats, protecting your underwear from pervs when it's drying outside, and most importantly, not breaking the harmony, okay? Next, have a stable employment. Do you have a full-time job at a big well-known company? That's great! Do you freelance or work part-time? Not great. If you're a student, things are both easier and harder at the same time. There are fewer expectations from you personally, apart from either having a fat bank account or receiving money from your parents or someone else. So there is a good amount of paperwork that will involve proving that. Another thing that you will probably have to do is to get a guarantor. Getting a Japanese guarantor is hard, as in general not many people will agree to the financial responsibility. In addition, you will have to fetch a proof of their income, which is like, ooh. So often, your only option will be to use a guarantor company, which costs money. Not much you can really do about it, and this is also a common requirement for Japanese tenants. Another thing that might help you is to pick the right time to move. Avoid moving during the peak seasons in spring. The school year starts in April, the financial year starts in April. A bunch of people move for jobs and school around that times. Landlords can and will pick and choose. Finally, if everything else fails, throw money at it. At high price point, landlords are a bit less picky. So look for a place with a higher rent, pay more key money, which is basically a bribe to the landlord, or offer to leave a bigger deposit. Money will solve most of your problems. Who knew? And last but often overlooked thing is try to be nice. Be nice to the real estate agent you are dealing with. They often have sway with landlord and can advocate for you. Just remember, real estate agents do want to get you an apartment, just not necessarily the apartment that you want. If things take too long and everyone starts to get frustrated, try not to give into the pressure to move into a place that you're not 100% sure about. Take your time, and if necessary, switch agents. Despite what they might say, you only need to pay them if you sign the lease. Keep this in mind. And this is it. Knowing all this, you should be a little bit more prepared when facing the insanity of renting in Japan. Good luck! And if you have your own story about renting in Japan, share it in the comments. Cheers! And if you're not ready to sign a long-term lease, check out this video about short-term rentals in Japan. It's good.